Vonu and P.A.Z.NIA Year 4, 2024 Year in Review. In the metaphorical blink of an eye, another year is in the books. Individually, we here at the P.A.Z.NIA Consulate hope that it was a productive one in your pursuit of physical, mental, and/or spiritual liberation, and that you're closer to your goals than you were before. And of course, we hope this past year brought you happiness and love, despite the continued degeneration of the first realm of the servile society. Speaking in terms of Vonu, and in terms of developments within the Free Republic of P.A.Z.NIA, there's a lot to look back on, a lot to be thankful for as this year comes to a close. Let's take a moment to reflect on what has been accomplished this year. P.A.Z.NIA milestones. January 2024 brought forth the creation of the vetted P.A.Z.NIA map and directory, the Monero General Fund, mutual aid fund, P.A.Z.NIA list, the Craigslist of the Second Realm, and an overall redesign of the website. In April, we experienced the Great P.A.Z.NIA eclipse. Self-liberators came out to Veritas to witness the spectacle from Little Egypt, extremely close to totality. In April and May, my dad and I began building the Forever Fence here at the homestead and moved the ruminants over to the other side. The main shelter and first grazing areas are essentially complete. Soon we'll have another big paddock, a grazing area, gates at the entrance to the property, and milking stations inside the big shed. Fresh goat and lamb milk is close. Summer brought a few Second Realm gatherings here at Veritas. Great times were had, valuable connections made and further solidified, and lots to learn from those living liberated lifestyles. September and October marked Vonu Fest 5, the 5th premier gathering of liberation. Paul Rosenberg, a legendary crypto-anarchist, Matt Presti, Gabriel Custodiet, from the Watchman Privacy Podcast, and my mystery school mentor made it out. Pat Henry assisted folks with self-defense training. We processed a dozen corn soy-free chickens. John made us our own Ormus monoatomic harvesting setup, and Matt Presti delivered an amazing talk on Walter Russell and his cosmology. A fellow P.A.Z.NIAN took on a homestead project and re-energized the big shed. Lots of other homestead tasks completed too. In a sense, not only was it just amazing to spend time with everyone in attendance, the depth of conversation and connection was illuminating in more ways than one. And we got a lot of shit done. In November, Jamin delivered on the P.A.Z.NIA Ghost server. Housed in a classic desktop tower, this digital expandable bad boy is already the home to a P.A.Z.NIA Bitcoin, Lightning node, as well as Monero node. Connection information coming soon. Don't connect to a random node. Connect to our trusted P.A.Z.NIA nodes. A simple X relay. For anyone, here's another additional connection option. For folks that visit Veritas, create an identity, delete all relays. Only add the P.A.Z.NIA one, and now we have our own local chat across the homestead. The local P.A.Z.NIA library. Connect to the consulate internet and visit a link, scan a QR code, and gain access to the, ever-growing P.A.Z.NIA library. Currently, it features a massive Milton Bill Cooper collection, lots of documentaries, huge unschooling, homeschooling archive, lots of books, Libertarian Attack radio archives, music, the Vonu podcast archives, and a special folder titled Recommendations from Coordinator Rayo, which will feature podcasts, videos, books, etc. that I feel are the most important at that time or that are current focuses of mine. Coming soon to the P.A.Z.NIA Ghost server. Self-hosted BTC Pay server accepting Bitcoin, Bitcoin Lightning, and Monero payments on both the LA publications and P.A.Z.NIA sites. No third parties, no middlemen, no bullshit. Secondly, a public P.A.Z.NIA library, accessible via a link like lbry.library.paznia.com, hosted and distributed via PeerTube, essentially the local library, downloadable and replicable anywhere. Next, a Tor-accessible P.A.Z.NIA website, obviously just a great addition, something should definitely work towards. And lastly, probably other things I'm forgetting. And finally, for the P.A.Z.NIA milestones, this December, HBO star Jason Henza lit a fire under our collective asses to get the extremely important P.A.Z.NIA unschooling curriculum discussion going. An additional vision, ideas, and suggestions are being accumulated at paznia.com/education. Please do check it out and add anything you might have there. Vonu podcast milestones. First and foremost, the amount of episodes has greatly decreased. There's no weekly or monthly schedule or anything like that anymore. In one sense, I'm extremely thankful for that. The podcast has almost always been about networking, connecting with folks I find valuable. And now I don't need networking as much in such a way. They just come out to Veritas now. These connections happen in physical space and time, as was always the objective. That said, there's still plenty of content that will eventually be released, but there's no rush. Audiobooks, a long podcast episode list, both with Kyle Reardon and without. more PAZNIA Second Realm assemblies. It's been almost a year since we've had one, so yeah, it's about time again, but yeah, just in due time. Early this year, Kyle Reardon made his return to the podcast. It had been nearly 5 years since he made his last appearance. Certainly a huge milestone and noteworthy event. And lastly, for the Vonu podcast milestones, sometime in May or June, I finally finished the massive Vonu Libertarian Zine archival project I initially embarked upon nearly a decade ago, made huge by acquiring the archive of Jim Stum, the man who met Rayo. All of Vonu Life, Innovator, Preform, Inform, Ocean Freedom, Ocean Living, et al. Are digitized and will be released over the coming couple of years. Vonu Life will be the first one coming out in 2025. It's absolutely massive, 496 pages at size 8.5 by 11. So yeah, it's like the Bible on self-liberation for sure. Anyway, conclusion. Looking back, this year was definitely unique, but not for really any exciting or sexy reasons. It was about doing the damn work in physical space and time, whether it was fence building, ghost server, education and implementation, or making valuable, necessary connections for the PAZNIA network. It wasn't life after apocalypse, which just means unveiling anyway, as many would have predicted a few years back. The tyranny of the Servile Society is certainly evolving and progressing, but so are the solutions and potentialities available to us self-liberators. On this note, I recently heard one of the best analogies explaining the universe in which we find ourselves. We've all used Microsoft Paint at some time in our lives, I'm sure. You open the software, and a blank canvas lies dormant, awaiting for your direction. Within the software, all decisions, possibilities, and eventualities are already pre-baked in, but without the generative force of a creative being, it means nothing, just potentialities and possibilities never acted upon. So to conclude this year 4 and launch us into year 5, I implore you to continue creating the second realm, the PAZNIA network, and to begin or continue living and demonstrating these principles of peace, voluntarism, and truth as much as is safely and, humanly possible. Let the light of the second realm shine, pseudonymously, of course. Oh yeah, go donate to the Samurai Wallet Defense Fund by visiting p2prights.org. Love you, SW. Love you, TDev. Bitcoin kind of sucks without y'all.
Giving into it, feeding into it, buried into my own head in here, finding rest in it, it's seeing circles and squares, and looking into it like it is. We'll walk up to the end, dive into the abyss, fly away as if there's no bottom or top. Lean into it and embrace the ladder between the pillars that don't stand alone or end. Dust in our eyes until the fall. Catch wind of the light of insight, unbind you. The will binds, we go blind. Did you forget that death comes to save you? One open eye can see at night. Open the space above guts and skin blue. Out of the line until I die. So give in polite to the test that finds you. Give in polite to the test that finds you. Given polite to the test that finds you. To you I fall together all to me.